on the screen or in photos would not be bought in such great numbers. You understand?
I understand what you're saying. I'm no saint. I enjoyed the movie when I saw it. The thing is, to say that it's okay because it's popular, I think begs the issue. Cause
well, we're not being judgmental here. We're not being judgmental. You asked a question,
right,
and we're trying to find the answer. I mean, if you want to be judgmental, on what basis are we going to be judgmental?
Well, 25%.
Are we going to be judgmental morally? Are we going to be judgmental psychologically? Are we going to be, what is our discipline here?
25% of the population smokes cigarettes. That doesn't mean it's good for them. You follow what I'm saying?
Again, I'm telling you, we're not talking about what is good. But if a person has a particular fantasy, and who doesn't?
That I agree.
All right?
I understand what you're saying.
And it's much, Marilyn, you step in here, but isn't it true? But look, Nick, how many people can do what Marilyn has done? How many?
Well, obviously, she's the only one in the whole country that's really come out of it. I think she sounds pretty together.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're right. That you know what? You are right as far as a lot of the other people involved in pornography, which I hate that word, but for lack of a better term,
they get burnt.
Well, they can't separate their profession from their real life, and so therefore they get really hung up in the fact of they take their sex home with them that they've done on the set all day, and they can't separate them, you see, and that's where they get into trouble. Fortunately, you're right. I am a survivor, and I've always been able to separate my work from my personal life.
And you've come finally to monogamous love. That,
right.
I think, is a positive point.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I'm not so sure about that because she told me that she has these desires, and she's somewhat insatiable from the title of the same movie.
Even Jimmy Carter left it in his heart.
Right.
Still does, I hope.
Yeah, but she's a lot better looking than he was.
That's for sure. Okay.
WABC will remind you that the telephone number is 212. Get a load of this, 212-563-WABC. That's 563-9222. I think what we're going to do is go back to giving it by the numbers. I think that might be more inspiring because people like to play the numbers. 563-9222, or from New Jersey, 489-9222.
Nancy Reagan was lucky.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a lady who wants to talk to Marilyn, but right now we're going to say hello to Bill. Hello, Bill.
Hi, Bob. How you doing? How you holding up over there with Marilyn? Marilyn,
yes.
You're a classy lady.
Thank you.
You should be very proud of your career.
I am.
What I wanted to ask you, and not to go off on something, I heard you on the Howard Stern show the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know...
Did you disrobe on that show?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, if you did, then you'd have to disrobe here. Since you didn't have to disrobe for that pervert, you don't have to disrobe for me.
Easy, Bob. Easy. I wanted to know, what do you thought of his shtick? Do you think it's shtick? Do you think do you find him entertaining, or do you like doing a Larry King, Bob Grant kind of in-depth kind of thing?
That's funny, because you were just talking about Larry King.
we were just talking about Larry King. She's going to leave here in a few minutes because she has to be in Washington in order to do his program.
No.
And I was just saying that he was a big phony.
Well, Bob Grant seems to take things as a more intellectual kind of conversation. Howard Stern seems very surface and goofy. I'm just wondering what kind of interview do you prefer? Now that you're back on the circuit, I haven't heard from you in a while.
Well, I like the intellectual point. I like questions that are, instead of, he just wouldn't get off that take your clothes off stuff, and also the Larry King thing that I did on his show a while back. He just would not get off, and it was just like, for lack of maybe questions that he had come up with by doing his homework or whatever. I'm not putting the guy down. He's got a different type of a show, and it is shtick.
Yeah, right.
But I really enjoy talking, one-to-one here, and somebody having actual interest in what's going on inside my brain.
It seems that Bob and people like him seems like he wasn't taking you serious.
Howard?
Yeah. It would have annoyed me to a point. Well,
I think he takes himself too seriously.
Yeah. I want to get one thing straight with you. You were the Ivory Snow baby.
No, I was the mother. Holding the baby.
Yeah, you weren't the baby.
No.
Okay, as I said, you're a classy lady, Marilyn, and thanks a lot, Bob, for allowing me to talk to her.
Not at all, Bill. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, thank you.
Ann, you're on WABC. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. I'd like to speak to Marylin, please.
I'm here.
Hi, Marylin.
Hi.
I want to say that I really enjoyed your movie Insatiable,
Thank you.
and I think you're a very classy woman.
Now, Ann, you said you enjoyed Insatiable.
Yes, I did.
Which scene did you like the best?
I know. The pool table
Pool
scene.
table, and the guy looked just like Tony Danza.
I know.
Oh my God.
Tell me about it.
By the way,
You know, I'm 43 years old, and I'm married February a year to a fellow 15 years younger than me who was a virgin.
Yeah, I love it.
And I wanted to ask you, I love sex. But with my husband, you know, naturally, just with my husband. And I'm sure you're very happy, and I hope you have all the happiness you need in life. But I wonder, when you have arguments, does your husband ever throw up the past or say things to you in a snappy way, and then you get over it? Because I've not had that, and I was married twice before. My husband's never said that to me. You know, like ever brought
About
up
the past.
something.
Yeah, occasionally, and then I just shoot right back with his past, you know. So it's you know, I guess when I get kind of snotty, you know, people that I've been around, they go, okay, Miss Chambers, and you know, when my husband does that, I just go, oh, that's like stab in the heart. I don't like that. But you know, as far as the bringing up the past of the sex part, you know, he's real proud of me. And what I've done, and he believes that I deserve the best as far as my future goes. And, you know, he, like, stands behind me, no pun intended there, all the way. And that's something that I've really never had. So.
That's wonderful. I think to all the people out there who are so prudish and snotty against things like that, those are probably the same women who were screwing around their husbands while they're breaking their asses, you know, and then they look at you and say, you know, rotten remarks. But I really admired you in the movie, and I think you're a beautiful, beautiful woman.
Thanks.
Could you just, are you reluctant in telling your age?
No, I'm 37. I just
Oh,
turned
wow.
April 22nd, 37
I
years
thought you were
old.
much younger than that.
Well, yeah, right. Thanks.
Okay, you're making more movies?
I have a new film out. It's called Party Incorporated, and it's R-rated. It'll be out on video and also cable.
Oh,
So,
I wish you all the luck in the world.
thank you very
And
much.
with your private life as well as your public life.
And you too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ann is quite a person, Ann.
I like that.
WABC, hello to John. Hello, John.
Hello, Bob. I enjoy your show.
Thank you, John.
Marylin,
Yeah.
first of all, I'd like to say I've seen your films, and I've enjoyed you in every one of them.
Well, thank you.
I am gay, and I have been in, not in gay porn, but in the gay areas, the strip shows and things like that. I just wanted to say that it's very easy to get into porn. You start in things like that. I see nothing wrong with porn. The way you said it earlier suits it very fine. Especially people who are insatiable.
Yeah, right.
It's very easy to get into things like that. I got involved in stripping, and when you get involved in stripping, it can be a very good way of money.
Oh, yes.
And when people recognize you, especially in an area that we're in up here in the New Jersey, New York area, you have a lot of different people coming in there from different classes. And it's very easy to pick up on people and find things. I've had offers to do films, and myself personally, I wouldn't do them, but that's just different.
Why? Because of the AIDS deal, or just because of your own morals?
Because I wouldn't want my mother to see it.
Okay.
Actually, because of what?
He wouldn't want his mom to see him.
Oh, well, that's a consideration.
Sure is.
I wonder how many people who have appeared in these movies have had that happen, or at least
Actually,
the
there's
fear of that happening.
Actually, there's been a few people that I've known that, you know, a lot of people that are in it, they have...
Yeah. What about your family, Marylin? You're from Connecticut, and I know that the Chambers family didn't particularly like what you were doing.
No, it wasn't Chambers. I changed my last name. Their name is Briggs, which I don't mind saying. And they were not thrilled, most certainly. And it's funny how people change over the years. You know, my parents have seen me in Las Vegas. They've seen me in New York performing. They realize that this is like part of my career, the X-rated part. And, you know, since I've only done so few films, that's a very small part of my career, but what I'm, oh dear, but what I'm known for. So we're friends, and everything's great, and we have a special report coming up.
Yeah,
That's right.
right.
You heard them say.
Came right through my earphone.
Well, Marylin, you have to leave anyway.
I am, but
and,
I just want to say one thing. Is if you would like to write to me, for people out there, Marylin Chambers, P.O. Box 20653, Park West Station, New York City 10025.
All right, and now
Thank you.
from ABC News, a special
Here is a special report.
Let's get back to our telephones and anything and everything. By the way, Miss Chambers is gone. She's not here. But if you have anything else you want to talk about, I'm the guy to talk to. Hello, Peter.
Hello, Bob. This is Pete, the limo driver from Perth Amboy.
Yes, Peter.
I've been listening to you for a good long time. I think you're great. I believe you have a right to hear and to be heard. And I've been quite a free speech advocate in the city of Perth Amboy. But Miss Chambers has got to be a big disappointment. I've been trying to get hold of you for quite a while, and I think this is the time I finally got through to you. And just as I get on the phone, she's gone. I just want to tell you she's a grand lady, and I've been in love with her ever since I saw Behind the Green Door. I'm a sexagenarian, you might say, a sexy sexagenarian. And I've been looking forward to seeing you down at Woodbridge Diner one of these days. I mean,
No, the Rio Diner, the Rio Diner.
Rio Diner, right.
Yeah.
I alternate between the two of them. And like I say, Bob, I missed out on the good things of life. I think as far as this pornographic, I should say it's more erotic than pornographic. Besides, you don't see the violence that you see on these cops and robbers shows on TV or on some of these movies you see. And I think sex is the most wholesome activity.
Peter, let's forget about your theories on sex. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the fact that you've gotten yourself in some trouble there in Perth Amboy.
What's that?
Haven't you gotten yourself in some trouble in Perth Amboy?
Not really.
Not really? Aren't you fighting City Hall?
I sure am.
Well, tell us about it.
Well, I got my case coming up a couple of years ago. I was prevented from reciting my poem.
You wanted to recite a poem?
Yeah, a poem protesting the high taxes.
Objecting to high taxes.
All right.
And that old prune Otlowski, who has the nerve to want to become assemblyman in addition to being the mayor of Perth Amboy, wouldn't let you. Is that true?
Well, the thing is, he said the First Amendment does not apply to City Hall. And I got a suit against his former council president, and it's coming up later this month.
Well, good luck, Peter.
So I sure appreciate it, Bob, and I'm hoping to have a big victory up here, all for the First Amendment.
All right, we'll celebrate at the Rio Diner. Thank you.
We'll celebrate the Rio, right?
Let's say hello to... Oh, Bob hung up. Bob hung up. When you get that beep, 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 that means the guy's no longer there. Let's say hello to Jerry.
Yeah, hi, Bob. Regarding that proposed federal legislation that's being advertised as an assault rifle bill, now, what this actually would do is ban the sale and possession of all semi-automatic rifles, shotguns, and pistols. Now, were you aware of that?
Well, I'm not for the banning of the sale of all of those weapons. I am in favor of outlawing the AK-47. I've talked to hunters, shooters, sportsmen, and in all honesty, there's not a one of them who says they would use an AK-47. They say an AK-47 is not used to hunt deer, bear, or anything, but to shoot people.
Yeah.
Were you aware of that?
Yeah, well, but also that's a defense type weapon for somebody with a house who lives in the country.
Ah, cut it out, please. Cut it out. Cut it out.
What I object to is that they're using this AK-47 as an excuse to ban all these other weapons. I mean, it's just a hypocrisy of what they're trying to do.
Yeah, how many weapons do you have?
I have a .22 rifle, which under this bill, if it's passed, I'm going to have to register with the federal government.
Well, do you have an automobile?
Yeah, but this gun is already registered with the city of New York.
But isn't the automobile registered? You don't object to that? Why is it people who don't object to registering their automobiles object to registering their firearms?
Well, because the government may decide to confiscate them all next year.
Well, then the government may decide to confiscate your automobile, too.
Well, you never know what the government's going to do, do you?
Jerry, that's a phony issue.
Well, Bob, sorry you feel that way about it.
Sorry I feel that way about it? Well, I'm sorry there are so many people who are so misinformed and so fanatical that if I talk this way, they get absolutely wild about it. Well,
do I sound like I'm getting wild?
No, not you. Not you. I wasn't talking about you. That's why I said some people. Jerry, good luck to you at any event. I thank you for the call.
Nice talking to you, Bob.
Okay, bye.